and welcome to Donna's Kitchen. I'm so excited to be with you guys today because I have something really delicious on the menu for you. We are gonna be doing oxtail with some garlic parm mashed potatoes and some side of veggies. This is really like my favorite, one of my favorites, I should say, one of my favorite meals to make. So first we're gonna go ahead and start the vegetables. While those are gonna be cooking, I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I do the oxtail. Now, given you can season your oxtail from the night before and give it 24 hours, but it's not that important to do it that way. Here, I like to drizzle a little bit of olive oil on there, and this way, the seasoning that I'm gonna use on there will stick to the meat. So that way when you're gonna sear it, so I just put the olive oil on there and then just massage it in there. So when you put the seasoning, you'll see. So here we have some oxtail seasoning. It's just a blend of spices, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, and all that good stuff. So you can be as generous as you want. I like to use a lot of it. This is just so great. So we just massage it in there, and then we're going to sear these a little bit in a cast iron pan. Now you can also do you can pressure it, put it in the pressure cooker. So this is how I just kind of like massage it, season it. So this oxtail has been washed, and I cut off most of the fat from around it because oxtail sometimes could be really, really fatty. So there we have it. So that's done. And then over here, we're gonna go ahead and start. We're gonna start our cast iron pan. And I'm gonna drizzle just a little bit, enough in there to like coat the bottom of the pan. Put this to the side, just to coat the bottom of the pan. And then as soon as it gets really hot, then I'm gonna just place the oxtail in there piece by piece. And then I'm gonna transfer the oxtail into the Dutch oven. You can cook your oxtail on the stove, no big deal. But I like to do it in the Dutch oven because a lot of times I have a million other pots going on. So while that's heating up, here I have some potatoes. Potatoes are nice and cooked. They're still whole. And I'm gonna go ahead and, while my pot is heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and chop these roughly, because what's gonna happen is I am going to be blending the peppers and onions and garlic, thyme and green onions. I'm gonna blend them up instead of just putting them in the oxtail like that. I like to blend everything in, so that way while the meat is cooking in the oven, everything is just absorbed, everything, all these goodies. So just dump them in there. Don't get fancy with it. Put my garlic, the thyme, you don't have to peel them off. I like to do them just like this. So just go ahead and dump those in there. As long as your blender can fit them all. So I like to cut them all up, dump them in. Now, no one taught me how to make this dish. I always watch my grandparents and my mom. My family always make oxtail, mostly on Sundays though. They always make them mostly on Sundays. Later, I'll tell you what else I'm gonna put in there. Let's see, my pot is getting heated. So there, so while that's going, in here, I just add some water. You can do a little bit of bone broth, beef broth, bouillon, chicken broth if you want. It doesn't have to be because the oxtail is beef anyways. And then you just blend it up. Sometimes I put a little bit of browning in there. You might ask, what is browning? It's basically burnt sugar, almost kind of like molasses, but just thinner. And no, it's not sweet. you can't drink it. It's not sweet, just for the coloring. Okay. My mom likes to do the browning on the meat itself. Like once she seasoned the meat, she likes to do it that way. But there's so many different ways to do it. Now I'm gonna grab a fork. And we're gonna go ahead and sear our oxtail. Just need a little bit hotter. Again, it doesn't matter because you're just gonna give them a little bit of color. Okay. And while we do this, so anyone can make oxtail. When I say anyone, it's not hard. And again, you can't go wrong if you do your thing in the Dutch oven. If you make it in the Dutch oven, you can't go wrong with that because it's not gonna fall apart. Like if you do it in a pressure cooker, then forget it. Because if you do it too long, it will just turn to mush, and you don't want that. So I just asked the butcher, I just asked him, actually just tell him how I want the oxtail. Because sometimes people like them on the thicker side. I necessarily don't like the thicker oxtail because then it doesn't look as appetizing. So while that's going, you can hear, oh my gosh, it smells like heaven in here. I'll set this aside for now. So here's my potatoes. So I have here roasted, I just took it out of the oven, still nice and warm. Roasted garlic. So you just cut the head of garlic and just drizzle some olive oil, salt, and pepper on it and pop it in the oven and roast it. It doesn't really matter until maybe 30 minutes or so. Don't judge me about my, don't judge me on my potato masher today, okay? You have to make do sometimes. It's doing the job. So I'm just gonna mash the potato. I do it with the skins on. It doesn't really matter. I like it either way. It's fine. So I do it with the skins on. Just mash it up. I don't believe in mashed potato to be very soggy, like watery. I like to eat it like I'm eating yams. Okay, let's put that aside. Okay, so that's sizzling. So you really don't want it to be too, wow, look at that. Ooh, smells so good. Smells so good. You just flip them over. And you don't want them to burn either. Just want them to get a nice little color on them. I like to cook everything until they fall off the bones. I feel like that's the best way to do it. But yeah, just love that. So in the potatoes, let me just grab another fork. So you can tell that I don't want it to be mushy. You can also use a fork if you put the potatoes soft enough. These potatoes are really, really soft. So you just mash them. You don't have to be fancy with it. Just kind of go with the flow. really cool. That you can watch what's going on in this pot from the outside. These pots, I tell you, I don't know. Okay. Then with the garlic, you know me, I love garlic. So now I'm gonna squeeze this roasted garlic in. All that garlic is going in there. And remember, I drizzled olive oil and salt and pepper on it when I put it in there. Just try not to get the shell of the garlic in the mashed potatoes. Very garlicky. But it's roasted garlic, so it's not as strong, the odor, as if it was raw. This is like old school. Here people like to do mashed potatoes. It's like a blender, like a hand whisk. Let me wash my hands quickly. Again, it really doesn't need to be that fancy, like I said. So that's my garlic in my mashed potatoes. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of milk. And then, so these ones, I'll show you real quickly. Move that away, the potatoes still warm. See that? Really don't need to be fancy. You just need a little bit of sear. I'm like moving away a little bit because of the spices. It will make me sneeze. But that's normal. That's okay. Ooh, hot. I love using cast iron pan because it holds the heat so much more, and that's exactly what this material is made of, cast iron. The Dutch oven. And again, you can add the rest of the raw one with the sears because you're not going to eat it. With oxtail, it's a different cut of the meat, of the beef, so it's not, you can't just grill oxtail. Someone asked me that before. You can't grill the oxtail because the meat will be hard no matter how much you try to. It's a different cut. Okay, so those are going. Put this away. And here you have it. Look at that. Amazing. So like I said before, sometimes when I cook, I have so many different things going on at once. So, sorry, I'm switching back and forth. That's why I told you, the oxtail season really makes you cough. All right, so now I'm gonna go grab the Parmesan cheese and the milk out of the refrigerator. So here I have some Parmesan cheese. I have milk. Now I don't have to measure the milk because this is not going to be soggy. So let's just put that there for a second. Let's just move this to the side. Still nice and warm. And I'll add in my Parmesan cheese and butter. Yes, I add the milk first, because once it's nice and warm, I think that's the right texture. I don't need any more milk in there. I'm gonna go ahead and add some butter. Okay. So about 2-3 tablespoons or so for that amount of potatoes. I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons. Keep it a little healthier. I don't know what's healthy about mashed potatoes. I don't know. Let's do that. Ooh, I wish you could smell this kitchen. Oh my gosh. Smells so good. Like, so good. So yeah, so oxtail is first of all, we don't cook oxtail every day. Growing up, we always do oxtail mostly on a Sunday or a holiday. I don't think it was a delicacy, but only like special occasions we cook that. Only special occasions we cook oxtail. Fish, pork, and all that stuff you cook during the week. But on a Sunday, you do like oxtail. It takes a long time to cook. Back then, we didn't have. Back then, we didn't have a pressure cooker, and if we do, it's like very old school. If we did a pressure cooker back then, it was like really old school. Um, so let's put this a little closer. So now I'm adding the rest of the oxtail on there. You can't have your face over it because you will sneeze, trust me. With all the pepper and all the stuff in there. Okay. All right. Everything looks so amazing. So I'm going to show you quickly what I'm going to be doing after I put these in. Just take it out. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of oxtail. That is a lot of oxtail. Look at that. Like, no, that's amazing. All right, so that's done. So in here, remember I have my veggies, peppers, onions, garlic, thyme, and green onions in here. So I'm just gonna add some water to it. Again, you can add broth or you can add bone broth to it, or whatever. Let's put this milk back in the fridge. We don't need that. Let's see if I can get it covered. There we go. Now I'll blend that in a minute. We're just gonna go ahead and add our Parmesan cheese to our mashed potatoes. Sorry, my refrigerator is beeping at me. No, you can do whatever, portion you want to use, whether it's a quarter of a cup. I like it a lot of garlic and parm in it. It tastes really good. And when you're eating it too, sometimes it takes a while. And then people are asking you like, oh my gosh, what's in here? I like to hide things. I like to make brownies and hide sweet potatoes in my brownies and no one knows. It's amazing. And everyone's telling you how delicious it is until they ask you, what's in it? Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh my gosh, I can see little crumbs, little balls of Parmesan cheese popping up here and there. I think that's perfect. So good, so good. Okay, this will go over here. Now I'm gonna blend all my things, so bear with me. It's gonna be a little bit loud. Okay, I think that's good. So we'll just blend it up a little bit and then add, see how delicious, look at that. Smells like heaven. Smells really, really good. Now I'm gonna dump it in my oxtail that's already seared. So you just pour it all over it. Don't worry about what it looks like, because once it starts cooking, it'll be nice and brown. You add more water to it. And then we're gonna put it in the oven. So that has like all the salt in the oxtail, so you really don't need to add salt. And I usually put it in the oven for 2 hours. An hour, you check it at 375 degrees. So I'm gonna just pop this in the oven quickly. Just put it in there. Okay. All right, hot. That oven is hot. Alrighty, so now we have our mashed potatoes. Our oxtail is in there, 375. And in an hour you'll check. And here I have my vegetables. I'm gonna just strain them really quickly. Yeah, because they're like nice and cooked. This is a little hot. So I'm gonna just put this over here. Okay, that's going. Let's clear up my space. Until you try this amazing dish, you're gonna be in heaven. So now I just need to strain this out. Now what I love about these pots is that you don't have to use because I'm holding it with one hand. It doesn't get hot like cast iron pans. Oh my gosh. They get really, really, really hot. So with the glass pots, they can be hot, but bearable. People always ask me, how on earth do you use your hands? How do you use your hands? But it's okay. So here's our mashed potatoes. So before I plate it, I'm gonna go get my oxtail. See what's going on there. My oxtail. Okay. This is gonna be so, so delicious. Sorry, I just have to get it out. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So hot, you have to be careful. Look at the steam coming out of there. Oh my gosh, like the real deal. Oh man, the real deal. Doesn't get any better than that. So just so you know, with the potatoes, I use the Yukon Gold because I like the flavor of the Yukon Gold. When you put the whatever else you want to put in there, for in this case, the garlic and the parm, I feel like it absorbs the flavor more than if you use the white potatoes. I don't really like white potatoes. Like everyone has their favorite, but so that's what that would look like. And I am gonna rinse this off and use it to pick up the oxtail. Now look at this puppy. Whoa. See that? Oh my gosh. I'm ready to dig right in there. Just gobble it all up. It looks so good. As you can tell, like they're falling off the bones. Like good, look at that. Like seriously. And get all the juices and stuff. Oh my gosh. Okay. I'm gonna grab another spoon for the veggies. You can have your veggies on the side. Trying to be a little fancy here. I don't know if it's working or not. So this would be like a delicious Sunday meal or for like special occasion. You can make oxtail whenever you want. You don't have to wait for a Sunday to do it, but look at this. It's like, just look, it's so pretty. Amazing. Like seriously amazing. You can see the steam coming off of it. Like look how close, look how the meat falls off the bone. It falls apart. Like seriously falls apart. See that? That's what happens when you cook it for that many hours. So good, so good. Thank you guys so much for watching me today. I hope you try this recipe. You can never go wrong. The oxtail is so delicious. It melts in your mouth. It's so soft. Never go wrong with the Dutch oven. I put everything in this Dutch oven. Everything. Stews, soups, you name it. I bake bread in it, everything. So yeah, please check it out and let me know what you think. Thanks so much for joining me today here at Donna's Kitchen.